Hey there, it's Valerie, and I want to tell you about another local lead driver customer, Albert, who did something pretty phenomenal. So what I did was put together this quick video to show you what he's done, and then to show you how you can get the same results pretty quickly and easily. You see, when Albert picked up local lead driver, he was a truck driver, and he hated his job. The long hours and all that sitting was just killing his back. What he really wanted was to get off the road and retire so he could spend more time with his family. So you can just imagine that it was very important for him to get this to work. And I know it's important for you to get this to work as well, because you're probably in a similar situation where you don't like what you're doing right now, you want to break out of it, and you want to set something up for yourself, a real business. So if you want to do that, then please keep watching, because I'm going to reveal to you exactly what Albert did to get his results. And then we're going to show you how you can easily duplicate them yourself. You see, Albert approached this a little bit different than most people do. What he did was, after investing in local lead driver, he spent a few weeks digging into Craigslist, dissecting tons and tons of competitors' ads to figure out how he could do it a little better. And what he found was a simple system, that nearly doubled his lead flow while placing the same amount of ads. As a matter of fact, with these tactics, he even began generating leads where previously he had no luck at all. And he quickly realized that most Craigslist advertisers were doing it all wrong and leaving tons of money on the table. It's just that their ads were not converting, and they were disappearing off the front page of Craigslist in hours, sometimes minutes. And with ads like that, it's really going to be difficult to generate enough leads to really make a good income. But luckily for us, Albert figured out a better way. When I saw the results that Albert was getting, I knew I had to get this information into your hands. So what I've done is I've twisted his arm into sharing what he discovered with you. I convinced him to reveal the exact steps he takes to get faster and better results than even our own training. I mean, I gotta say, it is a little embarrassing for a customer to find a way to get better results. But honestly, it's not about my ego. It's about real obtainable results that you can get before the end of the week. But I have to warn you, this is going to be a limited opportunity, because Albert told me that he wants to work with just a small, limited group of charter members. He wants to make sure that he can work closely with you to make sure that you get off the ground running and get more leads than you thought possible. So keep watching so that you can be one of the few people that learn Albert's secrets. Now remember, the information that I've put together with Albert is very concise. It's short, but here's the thing. You'll be able to get a 50 to 100% increase in the number of leads you're already getting, or start getting leads quickly if you have none right now. But you have to be ready to take action and apply the things that you're going to learn from us. So I've taken Albert's secrets and put together a 5-module training course that will only take you about 2 hours to go through. In Module 1, we cut right to the chase. You'll see the first-hand proof that marketing on Craigslist with this system really works, and you'll see the actual results that you can expect. After you go through this module, you'll have the confidence to reach out to business owners, knowing that you can deliver valuable leads day in and day out. In Module 2, we'll lay out the exact steps to follow so that you can get a strong foundation, a foundation that you must get right to see big success on Craigslist. In the next module, we take care of one of the major problems that people face when advertising on Craigslist, and that's ad ghosting, or having Craigslist not show your ads while it appears that your ads are still running. We'll walk you through the exact steps to take to avoid ghosting and have your ads stick. In Module 4, you'll discover how to stand out in this noisy, competitive marketplace. You'll see how to make sure your ads are the ones that get telephone calls and get the clicks. Next is Module 5, and this is really where the magic happens. We'll give you the exact blueprint of how to build your ads the right way so that they rank on the top of Craigslist and actually stick there for days, not just hours. With the 5-part training series, you're going to have everything you need to be a master at creating leads for one of the most popular and most visited sites on the internet today. So now look below this video right now and click the buy button and get this valuable training for yourself. And listen, as a special bonus for the first 50 people who jump on the case study, we're going to include a very special bonus. In this bonus module, you're going to see exactly how you can quickly and easily build professional ads that drive an unbelievable amount of clicks. And you can do this all without expensive and complicated software like Photoshop. Plus, to make sure that you get results. Because listen, let's be honest, I am 100% committed to seeing that you succeed with this program. So I want to give you yet another tool to make sure that you do succeed with lead generation. What I'm going to do is give you access to our exclusive Facebook group. This is a secret group, so nobody other than people that buy this course will get into this group. And you'll be able to get individualized help and feedback from me and Albert and other members who successfully put this program into action. As a charter member, you'll have lifetime access to this group coaching where you can get one-on-one support and advertising critiques if you need them. Listen, normally this group would be $47 a month, but since you're going to be buying this case study today, I'm going to be giving you unlimited lifetime access to this group at no charge. No stone will be left unturned in this group till you get to the level of success that you deserve. So look below this video right now and click the buy button to get your copy today. And here's what will happen the moment you click the buy button. You'll be taken to our 100% secure PayPal checkout page. You'll enter in your details in the form. And after you check out, you'll be sent to our members area where you'll get instant access to the case study and be able to sign up for our Facebook group. And remember that all of the risk is on me. I'm giving you a 100% 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Simply put in a request with my support desk, type in the word refund, and I'll get you a quick refund, no questions asked. Now imagine how you're going to feel next week. Imagine how big the smile on your face is going to be when you're collecting checks from business owners, when all your friends told you you would never run your own business. You know, folks, this is a powerful example of what I think can lay out exactly what you need to build a real business, all with very simple steps to follow. So right now, click the buy button, join our charter member group, go through the training, and start building a real business. And I'll see you guys in the Facebook group.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Craigslist Power Ranker Module 1, setting up the foundation principles, the ground floor Craigslist Power Ranker steps. I want to thank you for joining Craigslist Power Ranker. I hope you get as much as you can out of this first module and out of the complete entire training. I just want to welcome you on board. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Here's the outline for the first module. In my opinion, this is the most important module that you really need to pay attention to, because it's going to save you a lot of time and hassle, having the correct structure for every single campaign that you have while you're running your Craigslist ads. So you've got to have structure, because it's going to save you a whole lot of time and effort. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to read through each one of these steps. There's 3 steps. And step 1 is how to accurately set up each of your Craigslist campaigns with Windows user accounts. And the step 2 is how to define your accounts to match your Craigslist campaigns, and how to use Twilio or other tracking software for each campaign. Currently, I'm using Twilio. That's important to me. I would suggest that you use Twilio, but you don't have to. Everybody in the market that I know of that's using Craigslist use Twilio, and you'll see a little bit later why we're using Twilio. And there's some softwares out there that are compatible with Twilio, so we recommend using Twilio. Plus, they're probably the cheapest out there, only like $1 or something like that. Anyhow, we're going to show you how to prepare your Windows environment for the Craigslist Power Ranker platform. This step involves preparing your Windows operating system to build out each Craigslist campaign you launch. This step is the most critical step you need to set up your campaigns for speed and accuracy. It will also limit the Craigslist bots, I believe, from finding operating system side patterns. Now, I don't know if they can track this, but it's better safe than sorry. That's what I always say. They may be able to track it, maybe not. I really don't know, but I'd rather just be safe than sorry and do it this way. Just because. I know Craigslist tracks a whole lot of stuff, and I don't know if they could see anything system-wide, but I think it's important just to hide it anyway, just in case they could. But more importantly, it's how to structure your system. Without this step, it will seriously hamper performance and campaign structure. You need this structured approach because everything you do from here without it will be disorganized and thus harder to manage, which eventually costs you time and money. It's super simple to set up and access, but extremely powerful to manage every campaign moving forward. You will also learn how to match everything to eliminate confusion and how to use call tracking. Once again, it's not required, but definitely a plus, so you can further optimize all your campaigns. Here's the important things to remember. Number one, always name your window user account the same as your Craigslist account name. So when you're setting up your window user account and your Craigslist account, name them the same thing. That's really important moving forward, and I'll show you why. You can use a Twilio phone number to verify a Craigslist account. So when you're setting up your campaigns, Craigslist usually asks you to verify that account. So when you set up your email to match. For instance, I'm on this one right now. I also entered a category for this one. This is my main account, and I named it Roof 1. And when I go to my Craigslist account, when I go to log in, I know that this is matched to the email name that I used for Craigslist when I set it up. So I used the word Roof 1 inside my email for my Craigslist account. And it doesn't matter if you use Google, Yahoo, or whatever email, Hotmail, whatever you want to use. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you name it correctly to match your Windows user account. Otherwise, you're going to get confused later on. You're not going to know what goes to what. And once you get a boatload of campaigns going like I do, you're just going to start getting confused unless everything matches. So it's important for you to match this so that it's so much easier. So that here's what happens to me. When I'm posting on Craigslist, when I go to open up a Craigslist page, I usually open up the home page, and I'm not logged in, so I have to log into that account. And sometimes I'll forget what window I actually have open. So what I'll do is I'll push this, and I'll say, okay, I'm over here. So when I enter my login information, I know what login information I'm entering in Craigslist because I've already named this window this name right here. So I'm associated my window with my Craigslist so I could remember exactly what my login information is on the Craigslist side. And that's why I'm doing it this way. It simplifies everything. So you want to use the same number you use to verify the Craigslist account for your campaign. Tie everything together. So this is pretty simple to understand. Just whatever number you used, whatever Twilio number you bought, it only costs $1 a month for that Twilio number. Plus, I think it's a penny a minute or something like that. It's really cheap. Use that same number for your first campaign. And then when you go buy another phone number to match to another account, use that same number inside your ad on your Craigslist account, okay? Use the same number you used to verify it and use that inside your Craigslist campaign or on your ad so that, it all matches, okay? And then if you're in doubt, ask inside the private Facebook group. That's what the private Facebook group is there for. And here's a picture of what it looks like, okay? This one here, we're on this window right now. That's this one here, okay? But I also got one that when I sign in, the email is Big E, and it also has Roof 2 in there. Here's another one, okay? And here's another one. Different numbers. I have a total of 8. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't worry about this one. This is my wife's. So I just named the name of these accounts are all set up, and I won't go any more than I'd say 10 total that I'm using. but right now I'm keeping it at 8. So I'm just going to, use 8 total campaigns on my Windows environment on this computer. I'm using 8 different accounts that are affiliated with 8 different Craigslist accounts. And when I log into one, I also log out of the same one before I log into the next one. Okay? Because you don't want Craigslist knowing, if you're logged into this one and then you just switch accounts to go into this one, Craigslist might be able to track the information on this one. And you don't want Craigslist to track anything. So always log in and log out of each and every account. There is another product that I use to wipe away my information. Let me see. Let me open up my window here. Let's see. Where is that? Yeah, CC Cleaner. This guy right here. Okay. Every time I log in and I log out at Craigslist, I use CC Cleaner. That's what it's called. I can't remember how much this cost, but it wasn't a whole lot of money. And it's important that I get this because this sucker right here, it deletes all the tracking info that servers or websites that you visit, all the tracking info, sets up cookies in your cache and all that other stuff. And what I use CCleaner for is when I log into Craigslist and log back out, I come over here and I run the cleaner, and it gets rid of temporary internet files, history, cookies, all that stuff that other websites you visit use to track you. It completely eliminates everything so that when you log back in, they can't track you. They can't track what you're doing. And you always want to eliminate all tracking. Okay? You don't want anybody to track anything that you're doing, so it's always better to just get something like this and just run it. Analyze and then run it. You don't have to analyze. I just click run, and I just clean everything just to make sure that nothing could be tracked to me. Because we're doing things that, according to Craigslist, we're not supposed to be doing, according to Craigslist, but you're just trying to cover your tracks is all I'm trying to say, and that's important that you should do that. So that's why my accounts are set up like this, and this is what you should be doing to make sure that they can't track anything that you're doing, okay? So that's what we got going on here with that. A couple other things I wanted to show you as far as Twilio I mentioned. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Twilio. You can find Twilio by going to Twilio.com, TWILLIO.com. I got it open right here to view pricing. You'll see it's $1 a month and $1 a minute. Okay, starting at $1 a minute. And then you just, once you get it all set up, you get Twilio set up, you log in, it's kind of like a prepaid calling card. You just fill it up. So when you run out of minutes, you log in and you just fill it up with another 20 bucks. And that lasts for a long time. I've got 8 accounts right now, and it's only costing me like about 10 bucks a month. Something like that. Some kind of really small, ridiculous number. It's not a whole lot. And every couple minutes I go in, I log back in, and I just fill it back up. And this is what I'm using right here. Here's the back end of call tracking. I use analytic call tracking. Here's one of my campaigns that I opened up. I went ahead and set this to, what is this? January, February, March, April, May. January, February, March, April. That's May 1st. Sorry, I'm trying to go through this too fast. Until this month, the 1st, okay? We got 120 total calls. All-time calls, 170 from this time frame. Okay? Gives you how many times they were answered and how many we missed, how many busies, how many uniques. It distinguishes between unique calls and callbacks, because sometimes people call you back on that same number, but it distinguishes if it's a unique or it's the same number. Unique all-time, failed calls, how many minutes, average duration. And this is the important parts when it comes to analytics, because not only does it tell you what day is the hottest day where you should be running your ads, like Wednesday. We get more calls on Wednesday than any other day. But it also breaks it down by day, so that once you get your campaign set up, you know the time of days that you should be posting your ads. Because that time of day, you're getting more calls during this time of day right here. Okay, 10 a.m., you should run, 2 or 3 ads this day. For this time frame, because this is where most of the calls are coming right here. And maybe one right here. So, for this day, let's just say a total of 3 calls for this day. And you could post your ad, anywhere from 1 to 3 p.m. and you know you should get a call. The same thing with the rest of these. Here's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you could go through this whole thing, and this is why it's important to have some kind of call tracking so you can get an idea when you should be posting your ads, which is really important. This is from Analytic Call Tracking. I guess that's it for this module. If you guys need any help, please feel free to go to the Facebook group and ask your questions. Make sure that you watch this video thoroughly and just follow these steps right here, and you won't have any problem with none of your accounts to getting them all set up correctly on Craigslist. Okay, just match everything, and that's the most important part. You keep everything matched so that you don't lose track of what you're doing for each account. And that's how I've been able to be successful and able to set up accounts really, really fast just by matching everything the way I'm telling you guys, okay? So that's it for this module. Hope you enjoy. We'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye. Well, hello everyone. Here we are in Module 2 for the Craigslist Power Ranker system. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in, everyone. We're going to talk about proxies today and why some work and others don't. This is based on my own use and research. I have had ads flagged and ghosted before. I'm not immune to it like anybody else, but I've been able to kind of minimize the flagging and ghosting by learning what exactly is it that Craigslist is looking for, and just doing research, looking, asking questions, talking to the people that are doing it, and finally trying to figure it all out. So eventually I kind of figured out, okay, there's certain kind of proxies that we should be using, and there's certain kind of proxies that we should not use. Okay, those are the two steps on in this module, and then how to set up each proxy on each window account. Okay, the very first thing, I've already done this module one time and I messed up because I forgot to mention this step right here, which is the most important out of all of it. Unless you have your window set up correctly with the right proxy, then none of this will make no sense and it won't work. So let's cover that first so I don't forget. Okay, so when you're setting up your proxy on your user account, whatever user account you're in, every single time, this is what you want to do. You're going to open up the Start menu. Inside the Start menu, you're going to type Internet Options. Okay? When you get to Internet Options, it's right here, the very first one that comes up, Internet Options. I'm not sure if this is going to work on Mac or not, but if it doesn't, you need to get to where your Internet Options is on Mac, and you need to change the proxy. And this is how I do it on Windows. I'm going to click and drag onto my desktop the Internet Options window, okay, because I'm going to need this. Now there's two of them because I got another one already somewhere in here to change my Internet Options. Here it is right here. Okay, I've already done this once. So I could actually delete this one because I don't need it. I just wanted to show you how to open it up. Let's get rid of that. I don't need it. And then what you do to change your proxy, your IP address, is you open that window up, click Connections, click LAN Settings. Right now I've got it to automatically detect my settings, but in order to change it to your new proxy, you're going to have to click Proxy Server right here. Use a proxy server for your LAN. These settings will not apply to dial-up or virtual private network connections. And then you change it right here. You put the address and you put the port. Okay, when you're changing from automatic, oh yeah, you got to unclick automatic and click that one. And that will automatically log you in to this address. Okay, and in this step, this is the most critical for this module, is to make sure that this is changed the very first thing for this window, and always use this proxy or IP address and port is specifically for this Windows environment. Okay, right now I've got it to automatically detect because that's the way I got this one set up. And then just click OK, and then click OK, and you're done. You won't have to mess with it anymore. Let me put you back over here where you were. And then let's go ahead and launch this over here. Well, let's go back to where we were here. Now that we covered this one and I didn't miss it this time, and now your proxy is prepared for that window. Proxy preparation and tying it to each of your Windows user account. I just showed you how to tie it to your Windows user account. And then we got to use the right proxy. The right proxy will determine whether you power rank long term or wither away into ghost land. And you have to remember this word right here because a lot of ads are getting ghosted and getting deleted by Craigslist, and it's because we're not following the terms of use or the terms of service. This module will talk about proxies. Some proxies seem to work just fine, while others seem to get flagged and or ghosted by Craigslist. This module will outline what I believe to be the best strategy that will help you avoid a lot of those flagged and or ghosted pitfalls, so you will have success with all your campaigns. Craigslist is actively looking for patterns, and if it suspects a violation of the terms of use, then they will ghost your ads or flag for deletion. So I will cover what I'm doing to sidestep the flagged and or ghosted pitfalls, and I will also cover setting up each of your proxies on each of your Windows user accounts. I've already done this. I just showed you. It's really super simple, nothing hard at all. Of course, it took me quite a long time to finally figure all this out, how to do it. But once I finally got it figured out, now everything's super simple. I'm kind of one of those simple-minded guys. I like keeping things super simple. Okay? Here's the things that are important, and you must remember this stuff. Okay? Always double-check everything when you're setting everything up. Because I've experienced not double-checking and running something and it didn't work because I didn't double-check. I just took it for granted it was right, and then it wasn't working right, and things got messed up. So it's because I didn't double check. So you must double check. Increase the number of proxy server companies you use, because it produces a footprint if you don't. It's a smaller footprint the more proxy companies, server companies that you use. You want to shrink your footprint, not increase it, so you use more servers, more proxy companies, because Craigslist knows, you know, certain proxies come from a certain server, and if there's too many people on one server, they're going to get hip to that, and they're going to say, oh, okay, well, this is a proxy server company, we're not going to use this proxy server company anymore, we're going to delete the accounts that are affiliated with this proxy server. And it's because too many people join one specific proxy server company, they buy all their proxies through that, and bam, Craigslist sees it, and bam, you lose your accounts. We're in to win it and not lose it. We're in it to win it, guys. So the whole reason why we're discussing all this right here is so that you can win and not lose. And this is very important that you follow through with what I'm saying. Use only Craigslist proxies for posting on Craigslist. Non-Craigslist proxies have been known to get ghosted and deleted. Well, like I just said, often, okay? Limit the number of proxies per server you buy to no more than 10 per server. Right now, I showed you in Module 1, I'm using 8 on one server. Use up to 10, no more. Then switch servers. Always check yahoo.com and ipmyproxy.com. There's others you can check to verify the location of your proxy. If you're buying one, for instance, I live in Portland. If you're buying one for Portland, then when you go to Yahoo, you need to make sure it says Portland. Okay? And make sure that your proxy is live by verifying with this that the proxy you just set up is actually live and it's actually working, and it's saying this is your IP address, the one you set up with this right here that I just showed you. Okay? And you're going to verify. You're going to verify that this number right here that you put inside this box matches what it says in here. Okay? Then remember, the smaller the footprint, the easier to avoid ghosting and flagging. Once again, double check everything. This is the most important part on this step, is the double check. Make sure everything is working properly. Now let's jump over to, okay. Let's jump over to this. Open up Craigslist proxies. I did a search for Craigslist proxies. There's 177,000 competing companies that are trying to sell you their Craigslist proxies. Okay, guys, there's boatloads of them for you to choose from. Do not choose one proxy and just provider and just stick with that one. Like I said, use no more than 10 per proxy provider, and just make sure that it is actually a Craigslist proxy. Okay, it says, like on this one, it says Proxy and VPN is the leading providers of Craigslist proxies. This one says our elite proxies work best with Craigslist. Some people will even use less than what I'm using. Like some people will use 5 from this guy, 5 from this guy, 5 from this, and you know, or some may just use 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. So the whole point of the matter is this, guys. If I've got, let's just say, 1,000 people that sign up to this program that I'm selling, Craigslist Power Ranker, and I tell everybody this is the proxy that I'm using, just say I tell everybody I'm using this, then everybody goes to this website and they sign up to get proxies. Everybody, all 1,000 people. Guess what's going to happen? Craigslist is going to see the footprint. They're going to see everybody is on this server, and guess what? Once they see everybody's on this server and all the proxies are coming from one proxy server, bam, ghosted, bam, deleted, because everybody's trying to game Craigslist, and they see that and they ghost your ads, and that's why they're doing it. So that's why I'm advising you guys to break it up. Don't stick with just one. Get as many as you can. I'm using 8 on one window, on one machine, I should say. You know, and if you get another machine, do the same thing and get a completely different proxy provider for that other machine and set it up completely different than your first one. And then to do some research on ghosting. I typed in ghosting on Craigslist and I did a little bit of research, okay? And this is advisable that you do the same thing. There's a bunch of other ones down here that you can pick. And just do your due diligence, guys. Make sure you understand what ghosting is, why you're being ghosted. And it's exactly like I said. It's because too many people are using the same server for all their IP address. So break it up some. And how to use Yahoo. Here's Yahoo right here. Open up yahoo.com and you'll notice right here, okay, there's always going to be the city location where you're at. My proxy currently is in Mount Laurel. So when you set up your proxy on your Windows server, make sure you go to Yahoo and find out exactly what Yahoo is saying where you're located. Buy a proxy from your proxy server provider, and they say it's a Portland proxy, for instance, and then you log in here and it's telling you it's in Mount Laurel. You're like, uh-oh, we got a problem. If I'm posting on Craigslist in Portland, but my server says I'm in Mount Laurel, Craigslist is probably might have a problem accepting that ad because you're in a completely different location than what you're supposed to be in. You're supposed to be in Portland, posting in Portland, not Mount Laurel. And then the last thing is, what is my IP, which I mentioned right here. You just want to verify that the IP that you plugged into your internet options is identical to this number right here. And that's all you got to do there. That's all there is for this section to verify everything. This is super simple, easy to do, but so many people will screw it up because they're too lazy to do the research and they're too lazy to open up more than one account or whatever the issue, and it's causing a lot of people to get ghosted because they're just following what everybody says. So keep it secret, guys. Don't tell even though they might be your friends and they ask you, you know, what proxy provider are you using, what's working for you, you know, I kind of want to be guarded, because if too many people hear you saying, oh, this works really good, this is the bomb, you should go over here, man, they got the best proxies in the world, and then you start boasting about it, and people start believing what you're saying, people start signing up to that same proxy provider, and here we go. We're creating a footprint. Craigslist finds out, you lose your ads, your accounts, you have to start all over. Yeah, it's okay to be friends, but you know what? Your friend could kill you too, you know? be careful what you're doing. You know, use your brain, use your head, your God-given talent to be cautious. You know, everybody doesn't need to be on the same account that you're on. That's just the way it is. And if they are, then Craigslist is going to find out. Okay, guys, that's it for this module. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some decent instruction and you start implementing this and make it work for you. Hello everyone, Albert Dugdale here. This module, Craigslist code in the ads. Here's the deal with this one. There's good ads, there's bad ads, and there's ugly ads. And what we need to show you how to do is separate you from the competition. You need to ask yourself, what separates you? And then also, how is it that you're going to make your ad stand out? Okay, and can the code tell the story? So on my own, I figured out how to look at the code and what codes to use to actually make my ads look beautiful. I've asked people before, why did you choose my ad above the others? And I have had people tell me this right here. When questioning several callers as to why they chose my ad above the others, I've had people tell me because it's the image in the ad. So you need to get your ads to stand out. So let's go through this really quick. I'm calling this Code Gone Wild, how to find Craigslist code for stunning ads and copy and paste your way to success. And that's how I done it. I just started copying and pasting stuff to find what the codes were to make the ads look pretty. And mainly I got all the information from the automotive industry, which the automotive industry has some ads that really look stunning. They have indentation and lines and all kinds of beautiful stuff. And then from a really close friend of mine, Nick Clement, he showed me some ads that he had put together, and I just started copying what he did. So there's millions of ads every single day. Some are good, some are not. Why should anybody pick yours? Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing to find the perfect ad and copy the entire structure of the ad, then inserting my own personal content. Okay, if you're going to copy somebody's ad, make sure that you insert your own personal content. Okay, and this one is for those folks that see the value in eye-popping ads that stand out above the rest, above the normal plain text structured ad. Visually stunning ads can make you or break you, okay? So you must be able to differentiate yourself from your competition. This module will also show you how I started to copy the code to figure out what each code meant. Then, after learning about all the codes, how it played a role in learning how to rank high on Craigslist. Some codes can really help your overall ranking strategy. And I just want you to take note of this. This is based on my SEO experience with tags. Now, here are my thoughts related to this, okay? If your ads look professional and catchy, the odds are increased in your favor that someone will actually pick up the phone. And that's our whole goal, is to get people to pick up the phone. So I believe the more prettier the ad, the better chance you have of somebody actually saying, hey, I really like this. Let me call this guy up. And that's what we're trying to do, is get people to pick our ads. Okay? And here's the things that you need to remember. And I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through this. If you use your tags from the very start, you need to use your tags to the very end in the posting body. You can't use it in the title or anywhere else, just in the posting body. Use the tags. The tags are to beautify Craigslist ads and to help them rank a little bit better. Okay? The tags I use are as follows. The underline tag and the strong tag are the two ads in the posting body that help me rank above somebody else that was beating me at one time in Los Angeles in the electrical industry. I tried everything as hard as I could to try to beat this guy, and nothing was working until I figured out how he had his ad together in the posting body. It turns out that he had his title. It was the very first content that showed up in the posting body. Plus he had an underline. And the two codes that he used to do that were these two right here. The underline, which happens to be this one. Okay, the U. That's the one he used. And it was accompanied with this. So he put strong and underline. Strong and underline. And it caused his ad to rank above mine. And when I finally figured that out, I ranked above him, and I was stoked. I was really happy that I was able to beat him because I tried everything that he was doing, and nothing was happening until I actually underlined it and said it was strong. So when I started doing more research on why, I realized from this guy right here, HTML Doctor, and a couple other websites, they say when you put emphasis on the words in the posting body, like this, the strong, and the underline, what that does, from what I learned, what it does, when you're emphasizing anything in the content, okay, in the posting body, the bots look at that. The more strength you put to or highlight the text that you're trying to rank for, the more that bot is going to say, okay, well, there's a lot of emphasis on this, so this must be really important. They rank you accordingly. You know, it's pretty simple, and what I do want to instruct you is this. When you start with the tags, you need to end with the tags with the /. So essentially this is open up a tag and close a tag, okay? And this tag right here for the line break doesn't require you to use an ending tag. All it does is start a new line or gives you a line break. This is the only tag that I've been able to find that doesn't need a closing tag. You could use big as many times as you want. But normally what I've been doing, I've been using H2 and H3 because that makes it big and it makes it bold as well. Instead of using big. And it's a good possibility that it could become a ranking signal because it's a heading tag. And if you study or know anything about SEO, a heading tag, it might not be too important nowadays, but it used to be in the olden days. The heading tags were important. And the bots gave more emphasis on the headings throughout your content on your website. So I think Craigslist is doing what Google did many years ago when Google first came out. They have the same ranking signals. Just in case, I'm using the H2 instead of using big. And that's all I got to say for this. Test your own tags to verify which ones work best for your niche and your rankings. And don't assume everything works the same across the board. You got to test a little bit, guys. Don't just take my word for it. Just do your own little test to make sure what's working for you. It could be that, you know, instead of doing the underline and the strong tag, that you're using H2, and H2 is ranking better than the underline and the strong tag. And that's all I wanted to point out on this one. The next step in this, let's go ahead and open up a Craigslist window. I've got that one, and I've got this one, okay? Let me show you these ads first. These two ads right here are this one here and this one here. This ad over here on this side, this ad over here on this side are both these ads, okay? The only difference between those two ads, you can see the text is identical. The only difference is this. This one doesn't have a picture. This one does. This picture is a really beautiful picture. All the rest is the same. And also, I put gray lines to separate the content because when people are reading this, they're going to get tired of reading all the way to the bottom. So I'm breaking up the content in sections so that they don't think there's a whole lot of reading. And so for some reason, I don't know why, people think there's too much to read when it's just all text. And they're like, oh man, I got to read all this, you know? With this one, you read really quick in spurts, and if they're interested in reading about this, I titled it Top Trends. Maybe they might, maybe, I don't know. I split it up, and then I split up another little piece here, and then on the related services, you see I got an indent over here. Over here, I don't. No indent. It's just plain. I think this looks, on this side, over here, a whole lot more beautiful than the other side. Because it has this picture in here. The phone number's the same. I want you to remember when you put a picture ad in there, make sure that your phone number's the same over here inside the ad. Same thing over here. Make sure your numbers are correct, guys. Next thing I'm going to show you is how I do it for posting my ads. Okay, so let's just go through here and post the classifieds. I'm going to open up this document because this is how I do it now. I didn't used to do it this way, but I do now. I'll go ahead and choose service because this is what I'm posting to. It's a bathroom remodel service. I'll go ahead and choose household services. Then I'll choose Multnomah County where I'm going to post the ad. I'm not going to make this ad live. Okay, then I'll put my email address in there, which happens to be this one. I'm using the tracking number, so I'm not going to put that number in there, but the number I am going to use is the number that correlates to the ad I'm using. As long as the numbers correlate. Then we'll put the number in there. Posting title, this is how I do it. I just copy and paste. That's it. Copy, paste. And then for the location, which happens to be here, I put the keyword inside the location, Vancouver Metro Area Remodeling. Okay. I'm going to eliminate this and put 97211 for that. Then I'll take the posting body all the way down to where it ends. That's it. Copy, paste. I need to eliminate this, eliminate this, eliminate this. This has got to be Portland. That's where I want it to go. I want to capitalize both the letters. Oregon. Okay. That ad is done. I don't have to do anything else. I don't want them to reply to my email. I want them to call. Pick up the phone and call. Also, this is what I do. I'll copy this entire title, copy that, and put it up in front. Okay. Hit enter twice and paste it in there. Okay. The sooner your keyword shows up in the body, the better. We're going to have to shrink this because we run out of, it's not letting me post that entire title in there. See, it stopped right here. So let's call this bath. Bath remodel. That gives me room to put it all. Okay. All right. There's that. Now let me copy paste. Oop. Disappeared. Okay, go again. Copy. Paste. And then over here, I got to put my codes in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this an H2 tag. And then I'm also going to underline it and call it strong. Okay. Strong underline. All right. And on the end, I got to close off the tags. The very last tag I used was underline, so that's the very first one I'm going to use on the end. Underline. Oops. Underline. Okay, that tag is closed. Close off the strong tag. And then close off the H2. That's it. And then I put a break. Break. And in this empty area, break. And that gives me the line that I need. Oh, there's going to be 3. Oh, get rid of this one. Okay, that's it. This ad's done. You don't have to do any more. Click continue. Normally what I'll do is I'll move this over here closer to Portland. Doesn't really matter where it's at. Unless you want to post your business address. I usually don't use a business name. Just a generic ad with no business name. And when they call, I give them my business name. And tell them what my license number if they want that information. So I got to put an image in there. Okay. I got to get the right image that actually has the phone number. And what I say, bathroom? Okay. We're going to use this one here. (360-203-3925). Done with images. Okay. Really beautiful looking ad. And as I go through here, I'm going to be showing you how to put one of these ads together. I'm going to show you how I use Snagit. And you see now this ad's complete. The only thing I didn't do is put lines in between using the HR, but that's okay. That could be changed out if you want to. There should have been a space right here. I didn't put a space in there, but that's okay. You get the idea now on how to put an ad together really quick. You need to create a text file first and then do it. Okay? Just copy paste. That's how you do it. And how I was able to do that was this. I was looking at the source code. Okay. I'm going to open up the source code to my kitchen and bath remodeling ad. I've got the word in here typed tub. And I'm going to tell you why I did this. At the very start, this is what happened. I seen this beautiful ad on the automotive side, and I realized they had these lines in there, and they had an indentation here, and I didn't know how to put that in there. I didn't know what the code was. So what I did is I opened up the code. I opened up the ad, then I opened up the code in the ad by right-clicking the ad, empty space on the ad, right clicking and view page source. I went to the source code, and here's what I did. Okay, you can't do it with the phone number because Craigslist hides the phone number, but here's a word right here, tub. See, that's this one right here. I just highlighted this. I did Control F, which opens up the find dialog right here. And I said, okay, I know what the break code is. The code immediately after the break code on this one is this gray line. And that's how I figured out HR was the code for including a break, okay? And then the last one, right here, how I figured out how to put the indent in here, I did the same exact thing. Since we can't use the phone number on this one, what I did on the ad is I either chose this word or the word immediately after. So I know this is HR for this line right here, okay? So I would either copy and paste this one or this one, and code that's in between it would be the indentation. And that's how I figured that out, just by doing it over inside here. So I don't have it on this one, okay, but if I was to open the code in here, hold on a second, okay, view page source, and just let me open this up really quick. I'm going to Control F, go ahead and open tub because we wanted to see that, and then we're looking over here. Down here, you see there's a code right here. This code right here is causing this to be indented. All I had to do is copy this one right here to find it. So copy that, go to the source code, put it inside here, paste it, okay? So the code immediately before this right here, and I already know it's not this because I know this means bold, and I know this, all this does is make it bigger, and there's a break there. So I already knew what these codes were. So like, since I already know this, then this must be the code right here that's going to give me the indentation. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was, okay? And here's the ending of the code. And once I copied and pasted it into my ad, when I was putting my ad together, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand how that works. So that's how, guys, how I was able to actually start beautifying my ads. And another thing I learned to do as well, to make it even easier, well, not always, but here's what you could do too when you're putting an ad together. You just copy all this, okay, all the way down to the end of the posting body. Okay, copy that, and then when you're putting your ad together, you're just going to paste it inside here. So paste. The only thing you got to change in this ad now, since Craigslist hides the phone number, here's a code right here that Craigslist puts in there to hide the phone number with the real no follow, show contact info, and here's the ending of it. So we've got to eliminate that and put the phone number in there. And the way you do that is you copy the phone number there, put it here, and you're done. That ad is complete. This code goes behind here. And then there's HR, which happens to be my line. And that ad is done, except for the other phone number that we got to change down here. Okay? And we do the exact same thing. Since it's the exact same thing, we're just going to do this. Okay? We're going to copy this, run down here where it's messed up, and paste it. There you have it. Oops, wasn't supposed to eliminate that. We're just going to backspace, backspace. And there it is. That's all done, ready to go. Click continue. Okay, this ad is all set to go. Alright, all set to go. Has lines in there and everything. Okay, you could do the same exact thing, but I just encourage you, once, if you do copy like I just did right now, copied everything, I got a beautiful stunning ad now with the picture in there that matches the phone and everything. If you do this on somebody else's ad so that you have the structure set up, make sure you put your own content in here. Don't copy somebody else's content and then just go with it. Create your own content, and that's it. Welcome to the Craigslist Power Ranker main module. Why are some ads sticky and others fall to the bottom? It has to do with the ranking signals. Okay, Craigslist is an algorithm on the back end, and they operate like Google used to operate long ago. Now Google has like 200 different ranking signals. Craigslist is similar, like Google used to be way back when. Craigslist also has those signals as well. It's an algorithm, and your ads show up based on what the algorithm's telling to show. You need to understand why some ads rank and stick at the top while others don't. We're going to give you a close-up view of how Craigslist computes ad placement. We're going to see the newest side, we're going to see the relevant side, and then we're going to talk about how to set up your ad start to finish on part 3. This module is going to give you the power mindset you need. It's going to give you the keys to understand how to dominate your marketplace with Craigslist, and how it could be found by looking at the patterns in the code. That's how I was able to figure it out, and I'm just trying to deliver that to you as well. Once you figure all this out, understand it completely, you're going to have power when you go to your meetings. In this module, I'm going to begin showing you how Craigslist actually determines which ad to place at the top and which ad to let slide to the bottom. I'm also going to show you example after example, so you have absolutely zero doubt on why Craigslist places more emphasis on some ads more than others. I'm also going to teach you how to make everything look natural and not spammy. Because, folks, you know as well as I do, everybody hates spam, and spam could get you kicked off of Craigslist, even though I see them allowing a lot of spam and the ads ain't getting flagged. But I would highly encourage you not to use spam. I'll be showing you the 2 different searches on Craigslist and how folks find information. Once I learned this information, my confidence when speaking to potential clients literally gave me the control I had heard existed in conversations. But I didn't know how to be the leader and set the tone for every meeting. This step alone is the single most powerful motivating factor that gives me complete control when I talk to potential clients. There is a huge power boost in this knowledge, and that's what I'm trying to share with you here. When you show your clients what you can do, they're going to be eager to hear you speak. Okay? You're going to be viewed as a huge asset to any business currently using Craigslist to run ads. And those are the people you need to be targeting, the people that are already running ads on Craigslist. Those are your main clients. I'm also going to touch a little bit on the niches I believe that can best benefit from the Craigslist Power Ranker system. And to me, automotive and real estate, in my opinion, are 2 of the biggest winners with this new knowledge. And this also will allow you to charge a premium. They can afford it. These 2 niches, they could really afford it for the services. And lastly, in my humble opinion, on average, people use both the relevant and recent search about 50-50 or so. And the only way to know for sure is to test. You got to test, guys. In my area, I'm seeing right around 50-50. But it changes. It bounces around for different areas. But for the most part, people act the same everywhere you go. At least that's what I've been seeing myself. The things to remember: do your due diligence to research the ads that are beating you and why by looking at the code. The most important signals Craigslist considers for ranking are the H2 title tag, the location the keyword is in the posting body and in the posting title, the amount of times the keyword is used in the posting body, the emphasis you place on the words in the posting body, the date and time the ad was posted. And don't assume, guys, please, don't assume your phone will ring with this strategy alone, because this is what's going to happen. And it almost happened to me. Now that my ads are stick at the top, why should I keep posting ads? That's what popped into my mind. My ad's on the top, I'm going to get calls. But guess what? That's not strategy you should be looking at. And don't get lazy just because your ads stick at the top and you're beating everybody else in your marketplace. You need to keep posting. You need to develop a posting schedule mentioned in the first module and in the proof module. That's how you beat everybody. That's how you cover the newest side and the relevant side. You need to have an overall strategy for both, not just for the relevant, okay? And this course will help you rank on the relevant side and rank at the top with all your ads. But if you just stop posting, you'll never show up on the newest side. Because as you know, by the end of the day, in some places that are really competitive, your ad, within a few hours sometimes, end up at the very bottom. And you need to have your ads at the top, because people don't go too far when they're searching for stuff. They start at the top and work their way down. That's been my experience, and that has to do with people's laziness and not wanting to go too much further than the first 3 ads. You know, by the time they get to the 3rd ad, they've already got enough. They don't have to go past that. And that also happens on Google Organic. You know, they look at the stuff at the top, and they start looking for stuff starting from right to left. So you need to get their attention on the left side first, because they read from the left to right side, not right to left, left to right. So get their attention from on the left side of your content. The most powerful stuff needs to be on the left-hand side. That's where you need to get the most of their attention right away. All right, you need to understand that. So let's go ahead and jump over to Craigslist. Sorry, I did a keyword search for roofer, and I opened up these ads right here. I opened these up, and I also opened up the code. I did my search. What I should have done is opened up a different. Let me open this up in a new link really quick. I should have opened this up first to explain this, but I didn't. Sorry, guys. Hopefully this opens up right away. Okay, so what we have here, when you open up the main Craigslist page, you're going to have this right here. Okay, and then you're going to click skilled trade. In this area on this side, everybody, this side over here, when the ad opens up for you, after you do your search, this area is considered the recent side or the newest side. So if you do your search in this area, or anybody that's searching, when they do their search through this area, it always opens the ad on the newest side. And this window here shows you the newest side. Once you click on the newest side that I just showed you, it takes you to this window, and you'll see that it's highlighted right here, newest. And then when you enter your keywords, let's just enter roofer. Okay. The roofer takes you to the new window, which is still on the newest side, but you also got the relevant that's activated. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show you here. So that's one side, and then we're discussing the new side. So the ads that I opened up are this one. Hold on a second, guys. I opened up these 4 ads right here. Okay, from here, 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 and here. This first ad is mine. Let's just go ahead and look at that. I just want to show you a couple things that I did. I took the keyword that's in the title. I copied and pasted it into the content when I put my ad together. I called this right here an H2 tag. I also called it a strong tag and an underline tag. And that's really important for the ranking signals. Okay? If you go to the source code, I want to show you what the H2 tag is. Craigslist says from the very beginning to the very ending of this, it's a header tag. And what's really important is right here. When you're actually editing the ad, Craigslist says this section is supposed to be the location. But in the code, it says it's an H2 tag. Okay, it's a header. So the reason why it's ranking so well is because Craigslist calls it a header. So if you put your keyword in the header, bam, you show up for it. And that's what I want to show you there. If you look at my code, you'll see I called it H2. I instituted a strong tag and an underline tag. Because to me, it's important that I tell the Craigslist bots to pay really close attention to this. So I gave it emphasis by instituting strong, underline, and H2. Huge emphasis I put on that title. And it's the same as the H2 title over here. Okay? That's all I want to show you guys there. And that's why mine's more powerful than anybody else's. The other thing I wanted to show you is the date time. I posted this ad at the very start on 9/2. Today happens to be 9/15, and I've done it at 10 a.m. But if we go over here and look at the new date time, we see it repeated here again what I just set up above. But then I let the ad expire, and then I reposted it after 7 days. Okay, I let 7 days, I let the ad expire, then I reposted it. Because now I get a brand new ad with a new timestamp. It's like a brand new ad. And that's how I'm doing it. Okay? And now it's at 9:31. But if we go to the one right underneath me, it happens to be this guy. And this guy's got the word roofing, roofer, and roof throughout his ad. He did this, and I would have never done this. I wouldn't let people know what my keywords are. So by him titling this line down here, keywords, He's literally telling people what he's trying to rank for. And you don't want to do that. Look at what I did with my ad, guys. Look what I titled it. I titled it Related Services. And then I put all the different stuff that our company actually does. And these are all the things we do and more. We do a lot more than this, but I call it Related Services. I don't want people to know this is what I'm trying to rank for. Plus, it makes it look prettier. Look at how much prettier this ad is. And I also got a picture in there. And then I go through the Snagit module, and you'll see the Snagit module. I'll show you how to do this, okay? How to make a beautiful ad and make it stunning. Okay, so the next one in line, as you see, it's not set up like mine is at all, but you've got the keyword mentioned a lot of times, a lot of different variations of the keyword, which is roof. And in the source code, I want you to see the timestamp, 847, and look at who he's beating. He's beating this guy that has very little content. And if you look at the source code, look at the timestamp on this, 917. This ad is newer, okay, than this ad. Yet this guy's in second spot. And the only reason he's in second spot is because of the content, the amount of content and the amount of times he's going after that word, which is the roofing word. And then here's the last one. Oh, that's the second guy that I think he should have put a whole heck of a lot more content, pictures, the whole 9 yards. And then here, this ad right here is the same exact guy that's right underneath me that's beating the other guy that with a different timestamp, with an actually older timestamp. This guy's got several ads up, and here's another one of his ads, and just look at all the different times he's mentioned roof, roofing, and roofer, you know, inside his ad. And once again, he called it, he said these are his keywords, and he's letting people know what he's trying to rank for, so I wouldn't do that. Don't call it keywords. And here's the code. Let's look at the code. Here's the timestamp on that. So you see, this is an older ad. So obviously he's going to be below the ad that's right up above him because of the timestamp. So those are the things I wanted you guys to understand, and hopefully this will be enough information for you to start your strategy with posting a Craigslist ad on the recent or on the newest side. And you guys do your research, okay? Just like I showed you how to do your research and what to look for. There's a couple other things you could do. Not that much, but you're going to open up the Find dialog by pressing Control F. And this dialog up here shows up, okay? The Control F, the letter F stands for Find. And you could also do a search for the keyword that they're ranking for. And you'll see the word roof. Roofer is only mentioned one time, but like I said, also it's mentioned in different variations. Okay, the word roof is a ranking signal. And I just want you guys to see that and understand that. That's all for this module. Hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, please go to the Craigslist group and ask your questions. I monitor the Craigslist group quite often. I'm always on there. It's directly linked to my phone, so I could get back to you just as soon as I can. Okay, guys? Hope you enjoyed this module. We'll talk to you on part 2. We'll be discussing the relevance. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Hello everyone, Albert Dugdale here. Welcome to the Craigslist Power Ranker main module, part 2. I want to thank you for joining up today, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. We're discussing the first module, part 1. We discussed the newest side. Now we're going to be discussing the relevant side and why things rank the way they rank. I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions on this, but if you just follow along, you'll start to understand a little bit how the two different sides are completely and totally different, and the signals. And there's some similarities as well. So let's just go ahead and jump in really quick. We showed you on this side. This side happens to be the recent or newest side. When they do a search from here, the newest window opens up. And then when they do a search from this little box right here, that opens up the relevant side. And this is what the relevant side looks like. Okay, the relevant is now highlighted. When you do a search for F-150, this is the one that opens up. So I went ahead and opened up these right here so that we could get an idea why they're ranking the way they're ranking. So let's just go ahead and the first ad is this one here. And I did the same thing I did on part 1. I opened up the code. So let's just go to the code really quick. You'll notice F-150, it's mentioned 8 times. Okay. And then the next one in line that's right underneath him, you'll notice it's mentioned 7 times. So right away there's a distinction there. One of them has the word F-150 mentioned 8 times. This one has it mentioned 7 times. If you go to the next one in line, it mentions it 8 times. So there's a distinction between this ad and this ad right here. So we have to figure out what it is. And the way you figure that out is you go look at the time. Date time. The date timestamp for this one says 11:02. Oh, let's see what it says for this one. Okay. Date time for this one. Uh-oh. Did I spell it wrong? Sure did. Okay, date time for this one says 10:58. So that's the reason the second ranking signal is the timestamp. This ad is older than the other one, and that's why it's ranking behind it. Okay, so if you go over here to this one, the next one in line, you do F-150, it says it's mentioned 7 times. Okay, but then we go look at the date time. And we notice it's down to 10:21. So now this ad is a little bit older, 10:21. Then the next one in line. And you notice it's mentioned 3 times. Okay, that's what Craigslist says. But it's older, so it's good. It's going to be down below. And then the next one in line, the very last one, is this one here. F-150 is mentioned 6 times. So it's mentioned more times, but it's an older ad. So I hope you guys are starting to see a pattern here. Date, time. Date time says 11:50. So now this ad is a little bit older than the ones before. We got 11:50 there. We got 10:21 there. And we got 10:58 there. So you see all the different distinctions now. 11:02. And Craigslist is ranking based on those little distinctions I just showed you guys. I know you guys are going to have questions in the Craigslist group. I highly encourage you to go to the Craigslist group so we can talk about these things. And I just wanted to show you these main important things on the ranking signals on what Craigslist is looking at. They're looking at the amount of times the keyword is used in the posting body, but on the relevant side, but also the date and time the ad was posted. And if I wanted to show you, oh, hold on, let me do this really quick. So this is what I want you guys to look at on this one. I went ahead and did another search for roofers. We're still on the relevant side. And I want you to understand why this ad, which is dated the 10th, is beating this ad, which is dated the 13th, and why this ad dated the 13th is beating ads which are dated the 15th. Okay, and today happens to be the 15th down here. Today's the 15th, right there. Why is this ad down here when this ad should be at the top? Okay, and it has to do with Craigslist algorithm. My ad is beating everybody's, and if you look at, I got another ad right here. This is my ad, and I'm above this guy that's on the 15th. So let's go ahead and walk through and look at the code and see what the code's going to tell us as to why Craigslist is ranking the way they're ranking. Okay, because it's obvious it has nothing to do with the time. Okay, so the first ad is this one, which is mine. Okay, you'll notice I put top of the line master roofer at the very front. Okay, but I didn't do anything else with it. Okay, except for right here. I put the keyword in here again. I got the keyword here again in the title. So I mentioned it twice in the title and here. Okay, but I also mentioned the keyword, what do you call it? Roof, roofing, and roofer, and roofs. That keyword, I'm talking about the niche roof or roofing several times. Okay, but mainly because of this this, and this. Okay? That's the main three reasons why I'm ranking above everybody else for the 10th. Okay? That I posted this ad. I'm beating a guy that posted on the 13th and a guy that posted on the 15th. And I always will. And so will you once you start doing what I'm showing you here. So when you go to the code, you look at the timestamp. We can see the timestamp. I've done this on the 10th, 12/17. Okay? Let's look at the next one in line I just showed you. His timestamp is on the 13th at 11:10. Okay? The next one in line, the 13th at 11:10. So back to back, he uploaded or renewed his ad at the same time. Okay? And the reason he's beating this guy here, even though this guy has a newer ad for the 15th at 9:08, is it has to do with the content. Okay? And I showed you this guy on the recent, or not the recent, but on the previous module on part 1, I discussed this person right here. Look at his content. It's the same guy, Matthew. Posted 25 days ago. That's what Craigslist says here. All he did is renewed his ad. This one says posted 7 days ago. Okay? And this guy here, it says posted 25 days ago. All he did is renewed his ad. He started 25 days ago, right there. Okay? And all he did is renewed his ad. And that's why he's sliding to the bottom. Plus, look at how much content he's got. Again, garbage. He ain't got hardly nothing compared to this. Look at all the content in here with the word mentioned numerous times. And then once again, he's putting keyword in there, which I wouldn't do. Okay? So this guy literally, since he renewed his ad and it's showing a new date timestamp, he should be on top of everybody on the relevant side, but he's not. And it has to do with the content, which is nothing. Look at his other one. This is the next one in line. Okay, that ad right there is this one right here. Roofer with competitive prices, same guy. Okay, look at his content. Okay, look at the content here on the other one. All he did is change the title. The content is pretty much the same. That's pretty silly, you know. It's probably getting him some business, but I guarantee you it's not getting him enough business that he needs, that he really needs. And he's missing out on so much business, it's not even funny. And somebody could actually approach this guy and say, hey, I could help you rank on top, and you could charge him a monthly fee for doing it for him. Okay? I'm not even going to try to go after this guy and talk to him. I'm just letting you know what you can do. And you can do the same thing with anybody else in your local area. So look at his other timestamp for the second ad. 9:07. The first one, 9:08. Okay? But what does the ad say up here on top? Posted 25 days ago. What does the other one say? Posted 25 days ago. So all he's doing is renewing his ads. You know, there isn't it doesn't say it's brand new. What does mine say? Mine says posted 12 days ago, but look where I'm at. I'm at the very front. Right here. I'm right there. I'm at the very top. That's my ad. This is my ad. This is my ad. This is my ad. This is my ad. So I've got a whole lot of ads at the top. And I'm doing it. You know, you guys just got to follow what I'm saying and you'll have the same kind of results I'm having. You know, like I showed you here, this ad down here, I haven't messed around with it since the 8th, this guy right here, and I'm still ranking on top of ads that are on the 15th. That's how powerful this is, okay? I've got more ads on this page, but I think you guys really get the idea, and you can start seeing the patterns of what I'm talking about. Open up the code and look and see the reasons why Craigslist is saying some ads are more powerful than the others. And you'll start to get an idea. Okay, if you wanted to, okay, this ad right here is this guy right here. Let's go ahead and type in the keyword so we can see how many times he's using roof. So the word roof is 30 times, but in different variations. Roof, roofer, roofing, you know, that's why his ad is so powerful. How many times did he say roofer? Well, it says 5 times. Now look at his competition, this guy right here. Let's go look and see how many times he mentioned roof. Roof, okay. Says 12 times. The other one, what did it say? 30? Okay, now let's put ER at the end. 3 times. What's this one? 5 times. He's mentioned it more times, both ways, both roofer and roofing. He's mentioning it more times, and that's why he's always going to rank in front of the other guy. He's got his keywords near the front. Roof, near the front. And that's an important ranking signal with Craigslist. The amount of times it's mentioned in the content, in the posting body, the date, time, okay, and the location of the keyword in the posting body, and in the title. Always try to put your keyword in the front, wherever you put your keyword at. Try to put it in the front, okay? And that's how you rank in front of everybody else. That's it for this module, guys. So all in all, everybody, all I'm trying to say is what I said earlier. You have to do your due diligence to figure out why ads are beating you by looking at the code, just like I showed you. And pay attention to the ranking signals. If you notice, I'm the only one using the H2 title tag. If we go over here and we open this up, you'll notice how I'm using my keywords in the H2 tag that Craigslist says it's a heading tag. And nobody else is. They don't put their keyword in there. This guy don't have his keyword in there. Not even this guy has his keyword in there. Okay, he just put in the area. Portland Metro, there you have it. And that's why I'm beating most of the people. This guy's just, he don't know what he's doing. Somebody help this guy, man. Somebody, please help this guy. He just don't know what he's doing, man. You can make some money off that guy. He's posting all the time. I see this guy's ads all the time, but it's crap. And he's putting in way too much effort to make his phone ring. So somebody, please help the guy. The guy is suffering right now. Okay, guys? So that's it for this module. Hope this module helped you out, give you the understanding that you need. Once again, if you got questions, please go to the Craigslist private Facebook group and ask your questions there. The next module is going to be how to set up your ad start to finish. Part 3 of this module. Okay? God bless you guys. Have a great day. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Albert Dugdale. Welcome to the Craigslist Power Ranker main module part 3. Today what we're going to be talking about is how to set up your ad start to finish. This module is pretty simple, and I'm going to walk you through how this is done. And there's just a few things you need to remember when you're setting up your Craigslist ad. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through this really quick. The first thing you need to do is open up 2 windows. The first window is where your ad's going to go. Right now I'm posting to, this ad is not going to go live, but I'm posting to Multnomah Services, Skilled Trade Services. Okay, and I always, the very first thing, I don't want people emailing me, so I'll always click no replies to this email. What I want them to do is pick up the phone. So I'll click by phone. I don't put nothing here yet until I get the ad in there. And this is how I start, okay? I'll open up the ad that's related to this account right here, this account that I have open. I've already got an ad related to this account, and it happens to be this ad. And I know because of the way I'm naming my ads. I name it according to this account and according to the Windows environment that I have open at the time. So the way I set up this template, like I said, first is naming it right, so it matches Craigslist and it matches my email and it matches the window I have open at the time, which is Craigslist and the Windows environment. I'll name it posting title because that's the first spot where I'm going to put content, which is right here. And let's just walk through that. That's the first step I do. Okay, I'll put the posting title in there. Click paste. Specific location, you see I titled it location. I'm going to take that, put it in there. I'm going to take the posting body right here, copy that, and paste it here. Now everything's in there. The last thing is to click the radio button for licensed, and there's one more line right here. I take the license information and paste it in here. And then the very last thing for this one is the city. It's going into Portland, okay, and Oregon. So now this ad is completely set up. What I'll do is I'll just kind of go through this and make sure everything looks good the way I want it. I call it the H2 strong underline. Remember to close the tag, and close the tag, and then I put a break. And I'll just visually scan this to make sure it looks the way I want it to look, and everything so far looks good. I will have verified all that on this area first. I always look through this a couple times to make sure. And we're going to verify that everything does show up by clicking continue. Oh, I forgot the phone number. So Craigslist is going to tell us we forgot the phone number and the postal code. Those are two important things. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to go back to the content. I'm going to find out where the phone number's at. Okay. Okay, let's go back up. I didn't get all my information. That's what happened there. Okay, go back. Let's go ahead and copy that and put it inside here. Alright, we missed some of it. Alright, now let's get in there. Now we got our phone number in there. And then we're just going to take the phone number from here and copy paste it where it goes over here. And I'll just put a zip code somewhere in Portland. That's it. Now this ad is done. Okay, now we can click continue. We got to edit the image because we didn't get an image in there. We're going to go find the image that's related to this ad. Right now I don't have a image related to that phone number, but it's in this file right here. Here's my image ads. Here's my kitchen ads. And I'm going to pick this one. Click OK. Done with images. And now we're going to take a really close look at this ad. Make sure everything looks proper by opening up the window completely. So before you publish, you're just going to go through this whole thing. You'll notice I took this title and I put it in the content. I underlined it and bolded it and called it a H2 or H3 tag. And that's all I really wanted to show you on this one. And then you'll notice the structure's all there. Everything looks good. I put the code in here for this one, another H3 tag, as well as an indentation. I indented this here. I bolded this here. This line is bold. I H3'd this one too as well. And I put a line here. Okay. So this ad looks very beautiful. And I'm going to rank, this ad's going to rank for kitchen remodeling. It's going to rank for remodeling. If somebody types in remodeling Northwest, it's going to rank. If somebody types in remodeling in Portland, remodeling Multnomah, remodeling Vancouver, we noticed right here, we're going to have to edit the text because some of the word got cut off. So we'll go back to edit text. Okay. And we're going to fix that right here. Because Craigslist is not allowing that to go in there. So we'll just get rid of the word Metro. Alright, that's fixed. Click continue. And there we have it. It's fixed. Got rid of the Metro. So the only thing when you're doing this, you got your template all set up and everything. Everything's correct. Just be certain that the phone number right there matches this phone number here. And like I said earlier, this is just to show you how I'm doing it. And everything's already done before I even open up a Craigslist window. Okay, this ad has already been done, you know, completed in the Snagit module. You'll know how to do this. And this template has already been done. Okay, so that I don't have to mess around. And it's all related to this one window environment as well as the Craigslist account that I have open right now. Okay, the ad is matched to the Craigslist account that's open, and so is the template for the content. And those are the two important things, and it helps you do things quite a lot faster. And the only important things for ranking, as far as ranking is concerned, is like I said, is making sure that you have this title right here in the content that you bold it with an H3 tag or an H2 tag if you want. You call it a strong and an underline. And that's all you got to do to run your ads. There's also one other way, which I'm going to show you right now. It's another way that if you wanted to, you can, but let me instruct you on how to do that correctly. So let's just say you were looking for a roofing ad. You wanted to see, if how some of the other ads look like. You're doing some research. I went ahead and typed in roofing services here, and I opened up this ad right here. I found this ad. It looked really pretty. This is one of my ads. And I wanted to copy the structure of this ad. You can see this ad is all set up already. As far as the structure, not the content. Never copy somebody else's content, but this is how I would do it. I would open up the code right here by doing this, view page source. Here's the source code, guys. Okay. I control find right here. I typed in posting body, and here's the beginning of the posting body. There's just a couple little instructions I wanted to talk to you about. Oops, go back. So here's a couple things I wanted to instruct you about the posting body. First of all, you're going to copy all of it. Okay, so that we're going to copy the structure of this ad because we want it, we really like the structure. It's beautiful. Okay, and the structure of the ad ends right here. Copy it, and this is what I want you to understand in this. Okay, in the posting body, Craigslist is hiding the phone number, so you're going to have to take this when you put it inside the ad and get rid of it. Show contact info. Let's go back to the ad that we're working on, which is right here. Okay, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to put what we just copied into there. And all we're going to have to change now is the phone number, which Craigslist hid. We got to get rid of that. Okay, bam, now it's gone. We're going to take the phone number, we're going to copy it out of there and put it right here where it's supposed to go. Okay, and that's it. You don't have to do this what I just did, but I always do anyway, just for the heck of it. You don't have to. And then there's another place where it's been hidden right here. So we got to get rid of this. Okay, and click paste. And now I've got our new phone number in there. Okay, that's it. Craigslist hid it, and we put it back. And that's how you do that. So when you're setting up the ad and you got all the structure in here, you know the structure's in there because all you did is copied. What you're going to do is you're going to start putting your information in there. So if your ad happens to say this right here, you're going to take that, you're going to copy it, and you're going to put it right here. Okay. The next part you're going to change is your phone number, because you know your phone number and all that's different. And you're going to change this content right here. And then once you start building your content, you start doing it, by getting rid of this line and putting your content in there. Okay. Here's some more content. You just change out the content. Take your template and change out the content. And now, when you do that, you're already going to have the structure in there. You put your content there. You put your content there. Okay. Between all the codes. All right. You put your content there. You put your content here. You notice it's between all the codes. You're going to stop right here. You're going to put your content right here. Between those two codes. You're going to put your other content between these two codes. If you wanted to put the counties that you're serving, you just put the counties in between these codes. Okay? And the same thing here. Just copy out get rid of the code or get rid of the content that's in this ad and replace it with your own. Then click continue and take a look at it and see what it looks like. And make sure everything looks good the way you want it to. And bam, now you got all your content inside an ad, and you didn't have to change out the structure. All you did is changed out the content, but you got the structure the same. So you got to keep the structure. So, that's a couple different ways on how to do this. That's it for this module, guys. I hope you learned a lot. The two different ways how to, copy paste your way to success on putting really beautiful ads together. It's a little time consuming, but once you have all your templates and everything set up, it's a no-brainer. It's really super simple. It's easy. Okay, guys? That's it for this module, and I hope you enjoy it. Please make sure you go to the Craigslist Power Ranker Facebook group for any questions you might have. I think this is really super simple for me, but it might be a little hard for you. So just go to the group and ask your questions there. I monitor it all the time, guys. I'm there and a bunch of other people there, and we're going to have some moderators that really understand Craigslist as well, and they're doing the same thing, and they're having a lot of success. So you guys, don't be afraid. The only dumb question that you could ask is the question you don't ask. And I'm sure you've heard that before. There is no dumb questions, guys. The dumb one is the one you don't ask. That's the dumb question. You have to ask questions if you want to learn. And that's what we're here for. We're helping to teach you how to make money on the internet using Craigslist. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to the proof module for the Craigslist Power Ranker. I know everybody needs proof, so you're going to hear some example calls and screen captures to establish the proof in the pudding. Okay, this is really important, and this will help you establish a firm foundation, and it'll remove all your fears. And you'll know that this actually works, and it's going to work for you. You just got to know how to plug away at it. Okay, and my whole goal in this module and in the entire course is to give you the foundation that you need. And that's why I started with the foundation as far as setting up your windows. That's the main foundation. And my goal is to take the fear away so that you can approach people with power behind you when you talk to them. And I'll share a little bit in this module on how I done that, okay? And what I done moving forward, when I started getting really good at this, I set myself up as an exclusive one-of-a-kind Craigslist ad pro. One of a kind was really important because nobody else could do what I could do. There's other people that are using some of the principles and stuff that I did, but I don't think they've gotten as extensive as I've gotten in this module, or in this course, I'm sorry. I've done a boatload of research behind it to figure out how everything worked in Craigslist, and Craigslist algorithm is kind of sort of like Google was at the very start, many moons ago, when they first came out with their algorithm. And Craigslist is set up almost like Google was all those years ago. So we're able to track what the ranking signals that Craigslist is using just by looking at those things that we talked about in Module 4. Okay, and this sets you up as a one-of-a-kind Craigslist ad pro because nobody really understands that, nobody knows that I know of, on how to rank on Craigslist for your keywords. And you have to set yourself up as the #1 choice above every other Craigslist ad poster. Not only by ranking, but how beautiful your ads look. You need to sell yourself. You need to sell yourself the difference between a plain text ad, how your ads just really stick out above everybody else's when people actually search for your ad and they click on it, how your ad is showing up first, so on and so forth. You need to be able to sell that to clients and show them the importance of you being one of a kind, that nobody else could do this. And once I get down to here, I'll talk a little bit more about that. But here's what you need to do to understand this. The proof is in the pudding. And you just ask people, what's your flavor of pudding? And then you give them the flavor of their pudding with all the details in the course. So this module will show you some example calls and screenshots from recent post activity on a few accounts I'm running. I know how important it is to establish proof that what I'm teaching is not just a bunch of theory. And there are some in the market that build and sell products that don't have the success they claim because most, if not all, the content is based on theory and not actual results. You will hear firsthand accounts on how people find my ads. I question the people who call me on the exact process they use to find my ads to determine if what I'm teaching here and doing in the real world actually pays my bills and helps me scale my business. Once I started thinking outside the box and doing everything I'm teaching here, it was all that was required for me to begin to scale. I had definite hard action with a boatload of focus, and that's all that really matters for success. When I learned this, I began to make major progress. You will learn how to take advantage of the power behind exclusivity and limited inventory and how it controls the price you charge. So let me explain this. I know everybody knows what exclusivity is. It's the same thing as this. One of a kind. Nobody else could do what you could do. That right there should fill your head with an immense amount of power, because very few people are going to know how to do this. Very few. This is very exclusive for those few that learn how to do this. And it's exclusive also because when you start posting for a certain niche in a certain city, you can only post for that certain niche in that certain city for that certain client. You cannot, well, some people probably do. Like, for instance, Thumbtack and a bunch of other companies that are out there that sell their leads to 3 or 4 different contractors. Well, I understand, that's not exclusive. What you're providing is exclusive lead, okay? The lead you're bringing is not going to any other contractor. It's exclusive to you alone and to the client that you're giving the lead to. Also, exclusivity means you can't post for anybody else in that city because it's unethical to post for somebody else. And it's limited inventory in that since you could only post for that one person in that one city in that one niche, it's going to definitely hamper your ability to make any more money in that niche in that city. And because of that, it controls the prices you charge. If you could explain those things to your potential clients, that this is an exclusive offer, okay, and it's very limited because you can only do it for a few people in that area. You can only do it for one person in their area. This will help you control the price, so it'll give you the ability to increase your pricing. That's how I'm doing it, and I highly recommend you guys do that. So let's go ahead and jump in to some of these proofs, okay, guys? Here's the first one. Here's a couple audios that I took. I'm going to turn the volume down. I don't know how this is going to come out. Hopefully this is going to come out okay. But I'm going to turn down the speaker, the system audio. Actually, the microphone, I'm going to have to turn that down because I don't want the system audio there's going to be feedback on the microphone. So I'll just have to turn it down. Hopefully it sounds okay. So let's go to this first one here. This is proof number 1.
So can I ask you a couple quick questions on how you found us? Would that be okay with you?
Yeah.
So you found us on Craigslist. What search criteria did you enter? Like what keywords did you enter to find us?
I just put roofer.
Roofer?
Yeah.
Okay. And where did
you came up as the very first one?
Yeah. So when you typed in roofer, was it like in the search box that says search Craigslist with a little search box, and then it has a little drop-down menu where you could pick from the categories that are there?
I just did all services, and then I put roofer and search, and your name came up first.
Oh, so was it in that little box on the left-hand side on the window?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you use that little box on the left-hand side of the window on the Craigslist homepage?
Yeah, I just click on services.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
That's cool. I'm just trying to track everything to make sure everything's done correctly.
Sure, I don't blame you.
Yeah, well, we kind of like to know where the heck we're getting all our leads from, because, Craigslist obviously is not the only place we're getting leads from.
For sure.
Yeah, and we just like to know how people find us, so that helps us improve our services and, a lot of that. Hello, this is Albert.
Yeah, I was calling about some roofing business.
Sure. How did you find me?
Craigslist.
Oh, if you don't mind me asking, what side did you find me on? Did you find me on the relevant side or the recent side?
I typed in roofing, and that's where I found you, because that's what I'm looking for.
Did you type it in on the right side or the left side in the box?
I think I typed it in the box, the search box, wherever you would type in words.
Yeah, the top left box that says search Craigslist, and then it has a drop-down menu for services and all that other stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to narrow down, you know,
what
what
works and what doesn't.
Yeah, what's actually working, yeah. So thank you for giving me that information. It really helps a lot.
Okay, guys, there you go. So you've heard two different stories from two different people. They both found me in the search box, which happens to be the relevant search. Most people don't know that that's a relevant search, but it is. And that's how people have been finding my ads. And I'd say right around 50-50. It changes. It goes ups and down. But the most important part is people do use that box. And when people do use that box, this course really outshines because you're able to rank all your ads show up first. Okay, that's important. So let me go through this really quick. I had to call. This is for an electric ad in LA. This ad is no longer live, but just look at the date and time here when that call came in. Then I took some snapshots really quick, as quick as I could. Let me go through this really quick. You'll see electrical service. When I took the snapshot, here's the date and time, and none of my ads are on this page. None of my ads. Okay, and the same thing with the next one with a different set of keywords. My ads are not showing. Okay, electrician keywords, my ads are not showing. Tells you when I took the snapshot. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't go through it, did I? Hold on. Let me go back to it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to hurry through this. I don't want this to be too long and take up a whole bunch of your time, but my ad's not here either. Okay, you're going to see my ads on the next screenshot. Here's my ads. 24/7 electrical service. I'm ranking for that. Electrical service and electrician. Those are the two keywords I optimized for. This one here is optimized. This one here is not. Exact same content and everything, but it's not optimized. Complete duplicate. You see the 18th, this ad was posted on the 18th. Nothing was done after that. Today's the 21st. When I took the screenshot, here's the 21st, here's the 21st down here. You can see the time I took the screenshot. Anyhow, for electrical service, I'm #1, top 3 spots. And you can see the date and time right here. Again, here's for electrician. My other ones disappeared. The ones that aren't optimized, they're gone for the word electrician. You got it, I'm beating everybody. And here's the date time snapshot, okay? Next thing I wanted to show you, with this guy here, I did an awesome trade. He gave me a queen bed for information on how to rank his ads at the top. And I sold him on being able to rank his ads at the top. And he came out to my house and delivered a brand new queen pillow top bed, brand spanking new, a $500 bed, brought it to me and delivered it to me just for the information. So I helped him optimize 2 different ads. So now, anytime somebody types in queen bed, king bed, full bed, quilted bed, twin bed, his ad shows up because I optimized for all these keywords. And you can see how many ads are running for the word bed on the relevant side. He's #1. Same thing with the word beds with S, #1. Okay, twin beds, full beds, queen beds, king beds. If they use the word S in there, the plural, they're going to find him first. #1, top dog. And here we go with my new client. He sold the Chevy Silverado, but I optimized his ad. And the way I set this client up is I went into his shop and I said, look, actually I called him first and I told him what I could do, and he was kind of skeptical. So I set up an appointment to go to his place. And I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you I'm going to take one of your ads, whichever one you choose, whichever one you think is the most important, and place that ad at the top of everybody else's ad. He didn't think it was possible. I went to his place. I ranked one of his ads for free. This guy's running about 30 ads, and he's averaging 40% total income is coming from Craigslist posting. So he's running about 30 ads a day, and he's getting 40% of all his income comes from Craigslist. So I optimize his ads. Eventually, he sold this vehicle, and I want you to see the difference between my ad and this guy down here, okay? He bracketed Chevy Silverado 2500 HD Classic. So did I, but I put mine at the front. He put his at the rear. And that's why I'm beating him. For that reason, and some other reasons that I've discussed in module #4. And I'm blowing everybody out with the word Chevy. 6,000 ads for Chevy, and I'm #1. Or he was he was number one for a long time until he sold it. For Chevy Silverado, same thing. And then for Chevy Silverado Duramax, you can see we started the campaign back here. And this ad is on top of ads from the 23rd, which is when I snapped this picture. You know, look at that. This guy sold it. So there's that. Okay, and because of that, because I was able to do this, now he's going to be using me for some other stuff moving forward, because I took the initiative to go look for him and told him what I could do for him, and I proved it, and boom, now I got a relationship. They got 2 roofs, and I'm going to start building this client up, and it's just showing him proof that I could actually do what I say. And that's all you got to do. That's how you do it. That's how you set yourself apart from everybody else that's out there, and you become the one-of-a-kind Craigslist ad pro above everybody else. And you become the #1 choice above every other Craigslist ad poster, because your ads are beautiful, your ads are top dog, your ads are #1, you're optimized, and all those things. That's really important. Here's one of my checks from the main person that helped me retire from my trucking. I blew him out. He wasn't able to keep up with what I was doing. I was sending him too many leads. He started losing them. So I went out of my way and I found somebody on Craigslist that is a professional salesman. I hired him on board and paid him a percentage of whatever leads that I brought to him from Craigslist, that he would go out to the house and sell that lead. And he did really good from the very start. He's still doing really good. And I'm making money. I got a roof ad he paid me for on this one, and a bathroom ad. Both of them from Craigslist. And look at the kind of money I made for 2 different clients that my new salesman went out and sold. I took the initiative to go find a salesman. I wasn't making no money since he's paying me a percentage. I had to find a way to get him to pay me, because he was losing a lot of clients at the very start. I retired from trucking after 18 years of trucking because I was generating enough clients to get him, for us to start making money, and he started losing all these clients because it was just too much work for him. Not only having to manage all the jobs and going out to the job sites and setting up appointments for the new leads coming in, and it was too much for him. And he wasn't able to close, okay? His closing skills literally sucked. And I fixed that. And now I'm making money. And this is just one of the checks. I don't need to show you all the different checks I've made. It just shows you that I'm making money, okay? And because of that, now my name is part of his company, and he brought me in as the marketing director for his entire company. And I'm helping him grow. And here's my name, Albert at Service Group Construction. Here's my phone number. So this is what I've been able to do with what I'm doing now. I want to show you this again. I showed you this in Module 1. It's important that you get the idea on when you're supposed to be posting your ads. You can see the days that are most important, Wednesday being this one, where most of the activity happened on Wednesday, but it's Monday through Friday, but Wednesday being the most important. You need to remember that. You also need to remember the timing when you should be posting your ads. You can see this day, 10 o'clock was the most important. And we're seeing a pattern here. We're seeing, for most of the time, it's between 8 and 9 a.m., except for Monday here. And from 12 o'clock, you're seeing some activity. Usually not on Monday here either. Monday's kind of for everybody, I guess. Especially for me, it's kind of a slow, trying to get things going again type thing. I guess it's like that for everybody. I have a hard time getting going on Monday. But Tuesday, everything starts to pick up. You can see, here's the posting times. Here's the posting times for Wednesday, which is the biggest day. And you can see a pattern here. Look at the patterns. Tuesday, 8, 9, and 10 is important. Then it drops off. Then it goes back up again after 12 o'clock. It skyrockets all the way at 3 o'clock. Then it drops back down, and then late in the noon. And then you start seeing the patterns, okay? I just want you to see the patterns on the important times on this, okay? And then the last one. Here's some more important times. And this is from a completely different campaign using a completely different, this is not Craigslist. And we're seeing a pattern here. Between 8 and 9, 11 and 12, 1 and 2 it drops off, and 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 are the important times. Wednesday didn't have a whole lot of traffic, but this is only like a month's worth, okay? The other one that I just showed you on the previous one was for 6 months. This is for 1 month, okay? And you can see the important days, okay? It's developing a pattern. Tuesday's more important here than Thursday. Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays through Thursdays, I'd say, are the most important, and Monday's the kind of slow day. And these are the time zones. And this is when you should be posting all your ads. Okay, guys? So that's all I have for this training module. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. That's it, guys. That's all I wanted to share. You need to use this information to your benefit and power. Follow along with what I'm saying and do it like I've done it to open doors. You know, sometimes you got to give a little freebie to get your foot in the door, like I did. You know, and once you prove that you could do what you say, they're going to have a really open ear for anything else you might have that you could do to help their business. And that's exactly how I'm doing it. I'm just talking about what I'm doing, what I'm able to do for them. And I've got open ears, you know what I mean? And I'm setting myself apart as a one-of-a-kind Craigslist ad pro, and I'm setting myself up as the #1. That nobody could do what I could do, and they can't, except for everybody that's on this training here. I hope I, gave you enough information to show you that, this is actually working. It's paying my bills, month in, month out. I hope this really helps you guys a lot. If you have any questions, please post them on the Facebook group. I monitor my Facebook all the time. I just encourage you guys to get this thing going for yourself, man, and start making some money. And I was able to retire after 18 years of trucking, and we got it going now, and we're doing really good, and we're starting to expand. This is a really huge plus, and now I'm starting to expand and get into bigger markets and other markets, and I'm able to do some trades on Craigslist and teach people how to do this stuff with what they're doing on Craigslist. There's boatloads of people that don't know how to do it, and those are all your potential clients. It's not just the niche that you're going after, it's any niche. Anybody that's posted on Craigslist is game for this. And all you got to do is tell them, this is what I could do for you. And maybe start out with a small little trade, and then tell them, I do other stuff. Craigslist is just the beginning. And that's what I'm telling other people. Craigslist is just the start. There's so much more you can do for people. But Craigslist will get your foot in the door for sure. Okay, guys? All right, then. So that's all for this module. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit me up on Facebook once again for any questions you may have. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you later. Albert Dugdale signing out. Bye. Hello everyone, Albert Dugdale here. Just want to welcome you to the Snagit training module. I mentioned this in one of the other modules that I would give you guys this training to show you how to build stunning ads. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and open up Snagit right here and start walking you through the steps on how to do that. As you notice, this is a very beautiful ad. I do want you to remember, when you're uploading your ads to Craigslist, you're going to lose some quality. And I don't know why that happens, that you lose quality on Craigslist, but try to find super high quality ads so that when you do upload it to Craigslist, when you do lose some of the quality, it's not a whole lot. I guess that's all I really wanted to say with this. So I started with this picture right here. It was too small, and what I did is I uploaded this image to a website called resizemyimage.com. And this is what I ended up with after I was done. It doesn't look too bad. Like I said, you're probably going to lose some quality once it gets uploaded to Craigslist. And that's just what's going to happen. So in order to put these ads together, this is the first thing I did. I wanted to make this just a little bit bigger. Okay. The first thing I wanted to do, the second step I wanted to do is just start putting the little pieces of the puzzle together. So I've got several of the pieces of the puzzle here. I'm going to start out with this one here. This gives me my outline right here for the words that's going to go on there. Then I actually got two of them, and then I put another one in here. Okay? And bring it right to the end. And line it up. Well, let's make this just a little bit bigger, so that they're both about the same size, and then have them touching. Okay, that's usually what I like to do, have them touching. Alright, it looks like this one needs to come down just a little bit. Alright, down here what I'll do is put another one, the same exact thing. Okay, I'm going to put that right about here. Alright. That's where my phone number is going to go. All the way to the end there. Bring that down just a little bit so you can see the line. Alright. We want to be able to see the color on the line. Okay. It's a little too far. Right about there. And then the last one is this box right here with the blue outline, which happens to be this one right here. If you noticed, I switched to blue outline. I need to switch back to this one right here that I had. Okay. And then I need to click outside the ad. Okay. Now this is not live anymore. Now I could actually pick this blue outline. Now that none of the elements inside is live, to start out with my box that goes right here. The blue box right here. Okay. Bring it down right close to the line here. Okay. And scoot it out just a little bit so it's right up at the edge. Okay. There's only 2 of them that I got to fill in. I'm going to go ahead and fill this one in the same color as the background over here. Try to make it stand out and match the background. Or I could make it match the floor over here. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll go inside the box, and as soon as this turns into a 4-way arrow, I'm going to click that one time, and that opens up this dialog right here to let you, fill color. You could change the line color and the fill color right here, and stuff like that. You could also do the shadow effects and some other crazy stuff. But normally all I do is I'll change the color. Let's just go ahead with let's call it red. Okay, red and blue, which is kind of nice to me. And then as far as the fill color, I'll choose this one that says select color from image. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a color on the floor. Okay, that might be a little dark, so I'll choose it again. Bring up my dialog. Okay, there it is. Select color from the floor. Let's go with something just a little bit brighter. How about something like this? How's that look? I guess that doesn't look too bad. That's a pretty decent looking color, right? Yeah, we'll go ahead and go with that. We'll go ahead and go with that color. And then inside here, we're going to use red text to match the red lines. Try to make everything match. Inside here, same thing. Okay, you're going to choose it. You can choose the line. And once you see these dots show up, like this dot here, there's a dot here. There's a dot here that shows up. Another dot here. So there's dots all the way around. As soon as that dot shows up, that's when you want to click it. Now this element is live, and it opens up the dialog. You can change the color of the line, or you could put a fill color. So let's do the fill color with a darker color. We're going to go ahead and select the color from over here. Let's go with this color, because that matches just a little bit. Okay. Or we could make it the color of this right here, this desk. Let's do that and see what that looks like. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and select one of those colors in there. Maybe we could get it to match real close. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, 2 different colors. And we're gonna use blue inside of here. Okay. Red inside of here, blue inside here, just for the heck of it, when we start putting in our text. In fact, we could raise this just a little bit more. The words that's going to go inside here are these words. This box doesn't even have to be that big. We could shrink it just a little bit. Okay, bring it down some. That should be enough room right there to fit that. Make this box live. We need to raise this line up just a little bit. Okay. And then this line needs to be raised up just a little bit. Okay. That's it. That's how you do that. This ad's all set up for your text now. We're just going to go ahead and do these top 2. Those are usually the hardest to make everything match, we're going to go ahead and we got to pick the text now. And this is the text right here that you want to use when you have empty backgrounds or any other thing. You can play around with these here. This is the one I normally use anyway. Always choose, once you start adding new elements into one that already has an element, you normally can't start inside that box, because what happens if you try to, I'm going to show you right quick. Sometimes when you grab inside, the whole box moves. So you got to be careful where you're starting to put your text. And then we're going to go ahead and make this red, because I want it to match this one down here. And this one will be blue to match this one down here. Okay. And free estimate. Free estimate. Free estimates. Okay. We're going to make this text, we're going to call it impact. And we're going to enlarge it. Okay. And then we're going to go over to tools. We're going to hit effects. We're going to hit shadow, and we're going to put a shadow behind it. Okay. We got the shadow behind there now. I want to go back into the shadow again. So I have to click next inside this box to make it live. And here's the shadow. Okay. Okay. We're going to hit the effects again. Oh, wait a minute. I picked the shadow and it didn't take it. Okay. All right, there it is. Now the shadow's in there. I want to go back to the shadow. I want to click more shadows. And I want to make adjustments for the horizontal and vertical depth. I usually like going with a 3 here and a 4 here. A little bit bolder as far as the blur. And then I'm going to make it white so it'll really stand out. And there you go. Now it actually stands out. You can see it better. I'm going to blur that just a little bit more. No, I kind of like that. That's good. All right. So that one's ready. I could probably still make it just a little bit bigger. So let's just go ahead and highlight this and go up one more. 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. Okay. I got to make an adjustment to raise the text up just a little bit. Okay. I think that ought to do it right there, guys. It's too much. Right there. I want to raise this one up. Right up to about where the line's at. Like the other one is. Okay. Right about there. Free estimates. This one here has 2 different areas of text. Complete kitchen remodel, and then as low as, and I put it right on the line. So we're going to do the same thing here. This time we're going to make it blue text. We're going to choose the text again. And we're going to put a line in here. We're going to raise the line up to that line. Stretch it out to here. And stretch it out on this side to this line. Okay? That's where our first text is going to go. Let's just, what color was that supposed to be? Did I say blue? Okay, we're going to make it blue. All right. And cap lock, complete, uncap. Actually, this is a bathroom. Period. Okay, that's how I done that. And then this right here, I remember, was impact. Impact. Okay, and that impact was bigger, if I remember. Okay, and so was this text. I enlarged this text just a little bit more. Okay, enlarge to match the impact size. So right there is right about the same size, both of them. Okay, to get the color here, I want to make this color the same as this color here. I'm going to go ahead and go over here That opens up this dialog. I want to go to more outline colors. Right now this is the current color right here, and I want to select this color. Okay, so that's what I'll do right there. Select that color, click OK, then come over here, enliven this one. Alright, and now I got the color for that, and I'm going to choose select color, and that's this color here, right? Right there. Actually, no, I didn't do that right. Let's highlight the color. Okay. And then this color, we're going to click the color selector and pick that color. And now it should be the same color. There you go. It's all the same color now. Let's just go ahead and shrink this just a little bit. Okay. I'll go down just a couple. Right, that's good enough right there. Alright, and now all the next thing to do here is we got to put our effects, our shadow effects. Okay. And our shadow effects on this one, we're going to have to make it white. We got to get white because white's going to stand out with that dark background. We got to make it white so it'll really stand out. And we're going to make it a little bit thicker. Yeah, and usually, like I said, I like making this a 3 and a 4. I think that line needs to be a little bit thicker. That's starting to stand out a little better now. That don't look too bad. Yeah, except this one's got to be bold over here. This one's got to be bold. I forgot about that. Okay. Did I bold this one? No, I didn't. Alright, let's go ahead and bold this one. Even though it's already impact, let's bold it. Okay, there we go. Complete bathroom remodel. I'm sure everybody could see that, right? I think we need to change this text because it's too close together. So let's go ahead and change this to a different font. We had it on impact, but let's go back up here. Let's go with this one here. I don't know what happened there. I think we need to stretch this out. Yeah, that's what we needed to do. Okay. And then raise it up. And then move it this way a little bit. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. And my line over here for this guy, for some reason, needs to come back down. I don't know why it ended up way up there. Bring it down some. Okay, right there. Complete bathroom remodel. There we go. It's legible. It looks pretty good. Let me see this. Hold on a second. That doesn't look exact, but you guys get the idea. All you have to do is play with it just a little bit. What I could probably do, I need to probably shrink this and just make the text white because it is a dark background. Okay, and I need to shrink that just a little bit. And I need to make this a little bit different. I need to make that Arial black. I think that's probably going to do it right there. Actually, yeah, let's make this white too. And then the background, we're going to make the effects in the background, we're going to make that red. Shadow. We make the shadow red. That color right there. Darker. We want to make that a 4, and we want to make this a 3. Like I do with everything else. And click OK. Alright, I think I could live with this one a little bit better. I don't know why there's a blue line there. Where'd that come from? I have no idea. Oh, I know where it came from. Aha. I don't know why it's showing. It shouldn't show. No outline. Yeah, there shouldn't be any outline on that. Okay, this needs to move just a little bit that way. To the end. Yeah, that's where it needs to go. Uh-oh. Lengthen it. Okay, there it is right there. And then this needs to go up. Okay, there's that. Now that looks good. Okay, and the last thing is we need to put our text in there for the numbers. Just going to start it here, run it to the end, and we're just going to enlarge it just a little bit and put our numbers in here. As low as, we're going to call that 6,000, oh, $990. And we're going to make that red. Okay? And we're going to enlarge it. And we want to make it impact. Well, let's do Arial Black. And we got to put effects. What happened to my color? I lost my color and my size. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's highlight it again then. Okay, go back up, go back up, back up. Arial Black. Alrighty then. Okay, that's in now. You'll have to raise it up just a little bit. Okay, and then raise it up. Try to center it as much as possible. Lengthen it all the way to the end so it's centered. And pick the text. And we're going to make the text red. Okay, text is red. We got to raise it back up again. Maybe lower this down some. Oh, nope, nope, nope. We're starting to lose it by doing that. Okay, that's about right there. And we got to make our effects, our shadow effects has got to be white. White. Yeah, that makes that stand out a little bit more like it does with this one. Make that a 4 and make that a 3. And make it a little bolder. Okay, and there that is. See how that ad just came together? Click outside the ad, and here we go, voila. I think maybe this should be just a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and enlarge this. Okay, let's go up, and go up. I think that'll do it right there. And we're going to raise it up some. Right about there. I think that does it right there. Yes, sir. I think that's right about where we need it. You see, that's how you guys put beautiful ads together. It's starting to come together. Yes, it's time consuming. I do agree with you. But guess what? Even though it's time consuming, look at how much prettier this looks. Now you're going to put your text in here, like what it says in here. And inside here, you put your phone number. Okay? Like it is right here. That's really simple, guys. That's all there is for this module. I just wanted to show you how to put these ads together. I hope you guys enjoyed this module. Once again, if you need help, please go to the Facebook group. Enter your questions there. Snagit does cost a little bit of money. It's not a whole lot of money. The investment's really small, but you know, it's going to help you develop really beautiful ads. Okay. I really like this one. Came out really nice. You know, high quality. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching this module here for the Snagit editor for the Craigslist Power Ranker program. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you later on.